Greetings, Hacksters! Welcome to a special edition of Hackster Café. I'm very excited to welcome Lee Wilkins and Sid Drmay from OHS, as well as tons of other cool projects that you do personally. Such cool people. Anyway, so we're here to talk about Open Hardware Summit 2025, and you're both chairs on for the summit. Could you tell us really quick what each of you does?
Yeah, I mean, we work together a lot. I guess we do technically have different titles where I would be the summit chair where I help curate and help kind of shape the overall vision of the summit. But me and Sid work very, very closely together on basically every single aspect of the summit.
Awesome.
Yeah, and technically my focus is the Summit Fellowship. So during the lead up to the summit, we take on 10 fellows and provide them a bunch of mentorship opportunities leading up to the event, as well as a couple of things like we provide a $500 stipend to help them get there, as well as a few other little things just to help get folks to the summit that we want to see there. And then on top of that, I just, whatever comes up, I take care of as fast as I can.
Oh, we got some cool people on there. I know Sabine.
Yes.
We had her on the stream before, ages ago. Oh, man, and lots more people that I'm excited to check out. And that I'm going to the summit. I'm very excited about it. And if you go to the summit too, you'll be, well, not you, but y'all out there,
The people.
you people
currently
feel free to
watching.
drop your questions in the chat. By the way, we're gonna go through some cool stuff around like the badges and the fellowship and other events around the main event that are gonna be very exciting. And yeah, but drop in whatever questions and comments, what you're excited for, and what you'd like to clear up, and we'll make sure to get to those. So, folks, would one of you like to give me an overview of where, when, how, what?
Yeah, sure. Well, the summit is May 30th and 31st in Edinburgh, Scotland, and it's going to be 2 days. And the first day is mostly talks and people presenting their work. So we have exhibition tables where basically anyone can come and drop something on an exhibition table and show it off. But we also have a series of curated exhibitions. So we have a full day of main stage programming and exhibitions. And then day 2 is more like hands-on kind of really fun chaos. So there is workshops that we have 3 different tracks of workshops and 2 tracks of panels.
Wow.
So every year, me and Sid and Alicia, the executive director, really try to jam pack as many things into the summit as humanly possible. And this year, really no exception. There's so much stuff.
Wow.
Actually, this year we had a record. We doubled our record proposals. We had 170 proposals.
Dang.
It was so many, and it was amazing. There was just so much amazing stuff, and we crammed as much of it as possible into these 2 days.
Looks like it. Oh, I'm so excited.
We really keep it busy. We like to make sure that you don't have a single moment to think. Because you don't have to think. There's always a cool thing happening, so you don't have to worry about it. Go from one cool thing to the next.
Why think when you can just intake information?
Fair enough. I do love that idea. And as someone who's, I honestly do, obviously, JK, everything. But, there's so much cool and thought-provoking stuff that I end up thinking about forever after going to one of these. And also, of course, the, what's it called? The hallway track where, you're just talking to people. But also, as an introvert, it really helps me, just interface with really cool people by, connecting on shared interests and stuff and, what everyone's doing and see the cool people that, I know from around. And also, it being in Scotland, I'm really excited to see more of the European hacker community represented.
Yeah, for sure. We have been trying slowly to, move OHSA around the world, but it's kind of hard because the organization for a really long time was US based, and then me and Sid came on and started pouring some Canada into it.
So yeah, it was Montreal last year.
Yeah, exactly. Which is where I'm based. So, like we're taking like one step away, and then, like I don't know, the UK, and like it's just like one step away from Canada, basically. So we're like slowly making our
It's
way.
a hop, skip, and a jump
Exactly.
over the ocean.
Just
I
over the
love the
water.
reversal here, where it's like the UK is basically just Canada but different.
It's like
I mean,
Canada
like,
Plus.
yeah, like I feel like we're very closely tied, like the queen, the
Yeah.
king, the monarchy,
We do technically still have the queen on, or king.
the king.
You know what? Not my king. Not from me, buddy. But it's still on our money, so we are technically part of the monarchy. So
But you got
we're
your own anthem and everything.
still
I
in
also
the case.
I also like to think of Scotland as like the Quebec of the UK.
See that?
And I'm sure the Scottish agree.
Yeah.
They agree.
Depends on how
Scots
they
in the
feel about
chat,
Quebec,
let
but
us know.
Okay, so we got some people already jumping in the chat. We got Timon, who's going to the summit. Very exciting. I first met Timon in person at Chaos Communication Camp in Germany, so it's cool to like be seeing people, but also they had to come over here. We've got a question from Andrew from Dina. How do you pronounce
Edinburgh?
Edinburgh, right?
I think it's Edinburgh.
Please tell us
Yeah.
if we're saying it wrong.
If you want, we
A
can
lot
put.
of people tell me that I should be pronouncing less or more of the Berg part.
Yeah.
Where's the G? No.
Yeah. Oh, our language. Edinburgh is what I usually hear, but also people with Scottish accents tend to roll the R a little bit. So Edinburgh. I don't know. I'm gonna mess it up though. Anyone who's Scottish, feel free to chime in and also say "purple burglar alarm." It'd be very exciting. We've got a hello from Ukraine. We have another question from Andrew. Who did the fun art? So one thing that's a constant among your events is that you always have someone doing really cool visual art for these. So what's going on with these?
I am just so excited about the art this year. This is by some folks called Inner Loop Press. And I first saw their art at a zine fair in Montreal, but I think they're from, I'm sorry, I'm going to get the state wrong. They are from a state that is close to the top. And they just they make these beautiful, beautiful zines about technology and infrastructure. And I just love them. So yeah, Inner Loop Press. Oh yes, you can click on their link. And yeah, their zines are just really fabulous, extremely beautiful, all risograph printed. So I just approached them, Tanya from Inner Loop Press, and I just asked if she'd be willing to do the art. And I mean, it was like a first draft, everything is perfect type deal. It
was a very easy year for figuring out the visuals because I mean, just excellent little guys right off the bat, which we know the little guys are very important to us. Maybe other people too, but us personally, we love the little guys. So
everybody loves little guys. Let me see if I can pull up last year's ones. There's always some adorable little characters.
Last year's little guys.
More little guys.
We really do see the little guys as being a huge part of the brand.
Yeah. Whenever we talk to a new artist, like, okay, like I know you could do the art, but can you do some little guys?
Yeah. I was like, also a few little guys, like 2 to 3 little guys would really go a long way, and they do.
They really do. They bring, and they've even got little. They've got interactive little guys on their website.
It's a great website. They make incredible zines. Big recommendation. They're based in Philly, so
Philly, there you go.
If you're also in Philly, easy. If you're not in Philly, you can also just order stuff online. That's the great beauty of the internet.
Yeah.
We even this year we made sure to have our merch immediately available in our ticket sales. So for folks who are like looking to maybe really appreciate a little guy in a very real way by having a t-shirt or a hat, there's a few days left to get in on that.
That's me. I need to buy my ticket still, and I am totally interested in that. In previous years, you have like a bandana, you generally have like a tote bag, and oh man, I'm not a big hat person, but that is intriguing.
Yeah, we got very into it this year.
Oh yeah.
Um,
There's also another unlisted swag item that everyone will get in the bag. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Ooh.
secret. Sid, is it a secret? Maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's not a secret.
Oh.
A sweet mug.
A very sweet mug.
A very sweet mug. Yeah.
When you say
And
very
then
sweet, that sounds like it has connotations that I'm not picking up. Is it
No,
like
it's
super
good.
no,
around?
it's just like
It's
super
just
cool.
sweet.
It's good.
It's sick.
It's good. It's
Sweet.
awesome.
We
love
still
it.
use that one in Canada. We're
Yeah,
still pretty into
I don't know.
sweet.
Maybe
yeah.
we're like 30 years behind, but
Nah, I say awesome all the while. Actually, that's gonna be a fun thing about going abroad is that like I find that people in Europe really love it when you say awesome.
oh.
I do love finding out about regional slang.
Uh-huh.
I think it's really fun, so I'm very excited to hear people say things. And yet we do also have last year's bandanas just right behind me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we
There he
got
is.
comments from David saying he
ECB.
uses OHS bandana every day.
Yes.
There's another question about is it Lee in your background? Is that Radio Snack?
This is
Question
Radio
from David.
Snack.
Ah!
Yeah. Radio Snack. Oh, wait. Which side am I on? Yes. We have labeled everything. So, yeah. Very proud
It
of
looks
that.
Moving on
very.
up. Moving on up. Labels, organization.
I was coveting your labels and stuff. I'm in the process of turning my personal workshop into something vaguely presentable, and it's it's in process.
It's a journey.
So it is a journey.
Absolutely a journey. So let's see. Tell us a little bit about the fellowship again. You were saying that
Yeah.
it helps bring people to the conference who might not otherwise be able to join, and like it enables cool projects and mentorship. And there's also tell us about some of the people who have joined previously through the fellowship and what you've seen come out of that. Because I've interviewed a few of these people and they were amazing.
Yeah, we've been really lucky to have a really great kind of ecosystem of fellows. A lot of times we are really stoked to have fellows join us for their first year. For a lot of times our fellows, it's their first time ever attending the summit or even anything open hardware based at all. So it's a really fun way to be able to get people like aware of what it is, to understand open source, to be able to engage with it in a bunch of different ways. And then leading up to the event, we do 1 to 2 mentor talks a week. So that's,
Wow.
I think at this point we are down to our last month of mentor talks. We've got 6 more, no, 6. Do I have 6 more? Yeah, I think we have 6 more this month. That's a lot of talks. But so we get to like really see all the fun ways that open source can really exist, because we get folks who are coming from it from the medical side, from the art side, from how they approach data or the environment, or just all kinds of really neat ways that you can see open source exist. And then it really engages the fellows to kind of think about how they can make things within the ecosystem or that are still utilizing open source, but trying something new. And generally we get to see some really fun collaborations come out of it too. We get to see fellows make friends and find each other and collaborate on projects going forward, which is always really, really cool. And then we have, in the last couple of years, we've had more and more fellows also be doing something at the summit. So we've had folks be, this year we've got, let's see, Shannon Hicks will be part of one of our, part of the environmental open source hardware panel, as well as doing a table. And then we've got Christy Desi will be doing a workshop on open source sigils, which is really fun.
Cool.
We really wanted to pull in some ideas of e-textiles and fun ways to experiment with e-textiles that maybe folks haven't thought about before. And then we've also got Fernaz Baksh and Matej Zorek, who are both speaking on the main stage on their open source project that is open source certified, the Robot Study Companion. So we're really excited to hear them talk a little bit. And we do love this little guy. He is so cute. We did a highlight on him when he first got certified last year. So very excited to get to hear more about their journey. And then we've also got Priyanka Mackin, who is going to be running a workshop on the touchy-feely algae workshop, which is engaging with uh, bio biodegradable
Sorry,
materials. So really excited to see how that goes. I think that one sold out really quick because it was free, which is pretty cool. So yeah, people get to touch fun stuff, and then we've got Erin Rose coming this year, who's done a bunch of work on the Tangera. So really stoked to see her stuff in person, especially as a person who is always this close to buying a Tangera. So close every time. I really should just pull the trigger already.
I'm gonna pull that up. They are so cool looking. I personally, the second I can justify it, you know. But
yeah,
what a cool concept though. Like really, I pulled up the bird.
Especially as like someone trying to move away from smartphones. I'm getting tired of my smartphone, and also the storage on it gets taken up so quickly that something like this, where I can actually separate out my music again. Ooh, beautiful.
And it has a headphone jack.
Yes,
it shouldn't be
literally.
So
I never thought we'd hit a day where having a headphone jack would be so exciting, but here we are.
Also Bluetooth.
We, for some reason, forgot that headphone jacks are cool.
Plus, for audio files, I think it's like high fidelity, right?
Yeah.
You can, or it can handle, yeah.
So some really cool folks. And then Sabine, as you mentioned, Bleep Track will also be there. They're coming as a fellow, and she does so many cool things around generative art, especially her like scannable stickers that will provide art when you scan them. They're so cool.
So, I got some of those, and they are super cute. Also, Anu Reddy is doing some stuff at the summit as well, who has created some little scannable like crochet items, which I've got one around here somewhere too. They're so cool.
Yes.
But all these interactive.
Lots of really fun interactive designers, folks who just like really explore in some incredible ways. So really excited to be able to just have an incredible event with them.
Yeah. So let's scroll back a second. You mentioned e-textiles, and of course we've got to talk about the badge.
The badge this year. We're really excited. We have been for years trying to figure out how we could do this in a way that made sense. And last year we had Rodney Trusty as a speaker talking about producing e-textiles that'll survive the wash, and also just giving people really incredible overviews of ways that you can do e-textiles. So this year we worked with Rodney and we got to produce a badge with him.
I will also say it, like, Rodney is a great follow on Instagram because he's always putting e-textiles in water and doing weird stuff and just like showing off, like, I don't know, things that like I feel like I always was told were impossible with e-textiles. I feel like he's got it down if you like e-textiles.
I'm trying to pull, here we go. Yeah, his Instagram, I confirm, is an incredible follow. Just so much cool stuff, like the design aspects as well as the technical aspects of what he's doing. He's got this whole like custom software for embroidering e-textiles, and like shares so much theory and all, like, everything that goes into it, the whole process, as well as these gorgeous demos. I'm sorry,
we gotta look at them. They're just so good.
Yeah,
anyway,
really good.
Really fun.
And he's great at playing guitar, you know? We like a
so many skills.
Yeah.
He's a triple threat, quadruple threat even, perhaps.
A Renaissance person, and I really feel like that's a huge part of what comes out of OHS is all these people who are like Renaissance nerds, you know? So yeah.
If you don't mind popping my screen on, I can show folks what the badge looks like this year.
Oh my god!
Do the thing, StreamYard. Oh, I gotta take mine off here.
So this is our batch this year. We're really excited to have produced this with Rodney. Rodney handled all of the production on this, and they are gorgeous, really fun. And as you can see on this bottom pink one here, we've got the addition. You can add some LEDs as well as a little board here, and then within that, we've also designed some SEOs specifically for the summit this year. And you can also see this nice little video where everything is all lit up and flashing and working. So that is our badge this year. We're really excited to explore e-textiles in this new way and be able to have an e-textile badge this year. Really cool.
And
So
all of the badges also come with some conductive thread and a needle, so you can like hack it and reprogram it, and you can like add your own stuff to it. And actually, like I think you have to sew your own battery holder, like the white boards are battery holders, and you have to like kind of apply your own. So it's pretty fun. Like maybe some people learn some new skills. And yeah, I'm really excited to see. Yeah, there they are, the battery holders. So I'm like really excited to see what people do with them. Because I've never like seen anything quite like this in person yet. So
look at that.
Just a little pouch for your battery, just a little battery holder. And then, yeah, just like the production on this, like, look at this big old embroidery machine just doing the work.
That is so cool.
Incredible.
It's really phenomenal.
So what is the controller on here? It looks like a cutie pie or a shell.
You know, I've never held one. I've never even really seen it. And Rodney just like kind of put it all together. So I'm really not sure what's on there.
I think it looks,
you.
well, it actually looks very similar to, so funnily enough, I was on a call with David Groom yesterday, who was in the chat, and we were hacking on little Xiao RP2040s, and it looks almost exactly the same because it's got the two buttons for like reset and boot. And I had been struggling with other like earlier, way old Cutie Pie and Xiao boards. Just I was like, why can I not get a freaking NeoPixel strip to run on these? It turns out there was some kind of like memory issues. But anyway, thank you, David, for the. Oh, we finally got it going. And anyway, so it looks very similar to that. But that would mean that you can do. Actually, either one would mean you can do CircuitPython, MicroPython, sometimes Arduino, which I love the CircuitPython and MicroPython because it stores the code on the device. You never have to go to hunting for like, where did I store this? Or if you're in the field, you can just borrow a computer, shows up as a flash drive. You can edit the code, save it on the device, and it immediately starts running it or tells you that there's an error or whatever. It's such a good little board. So very excited to see that on there.
Yeah. And there's going to be like a GitHub repository and like a zine. I mean, like ever since me and Sid have been doing the summit, it's been like all zines all the time. So we're producing a zine for just like how to like hack the badge and how to do all these things and how it's all going to work. And there'll be a GitHub repository so you can have a look. And also, I really want to encourage people to bring SAOs because you can't see it on there because we're waiting for all the parts. Things have not been in the same physical location yet. But we are going to have an SAO. We're going to have this little pronoun SAO. This is the panel that I just got in the mail. So I've made a couple of these. So yeah, like you solder an LED next to your pronouns. But these can also be pins. Like I have little things on the back, so you could just pin it to yourself, and then you could bring your own SAO if you want. And it'll be powered by the board. So I don't know, hoping to see some fun stuff if anyone brings anything.
Very cool.
There's been some talk of folks saying that they're planning on bringing some SEOs. So, you know, you could be part of a fun little ecosystem of folks swapping and experimenting. So definitely a fun little side activity that you can participate in.
Yeah. So SAOs, for those who may not be familiar, let me re-add this. Here we go. It used to be originally Shitty add-on, then I think SuperCon add-on they called it for a while because Hackday SuperCon is kind of like part of where it came from. Now they're known as simple add-ons. As far as I know, that's sort of a consensus. I could be wrong. But yes. So people can design their own, and it basically just like hooks onto an existing badge, and then you can run it off of there, and such good stuff. Oshawa does have a GitHub. Like Lee was mentioning, you'll be able to find the designs on there. Of course, it's an open source association, so you'll be able to find your open source hardware there. I found this previous one. Oh!
Oh no.
I knew I should have clicked that before I pulled it up. It's quite possible that it was up and then
Yeah, the 2020.
That's
Actually,
always a risky
you
click.
have one of the 2020 badges here, which was also the 2020
Was it the e-paper one?
No, it was.
Oh yeah.
It is this one this one was sponsored by Spark Fun. So this was a 2020 as well as a 2023 because of our time where we spent online.
Yes, the incident.
The incident.
But
the panini.
It does exist. It did get finalized. It's just that the repository ended up getting a little sleepy because of.
But I think last year's badge should be on there.
That happened. I believe last year's badge should be on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got OHS 2024 badge.
This one, our wonderful one. This was from David Ray at
Cyber City Circuits.
Cyber City Circuits.
Cyber City Circuits.
I'm just gonna say Circuit City Circuits. That could possibly be right. Which was also another very fun one. So big, so shiny. Ooh, yeah. And then some of them even we actually were surprised to see how excited some folks were to finalize their own, because we had a few that just came flat and they had to add a couple of their own components, and people really liked that aspect. So we thought that was a good thing to carry through with our e-textile badge this year, where there's still a kind of interactive component where some folks can experiment, try something new, and still get to, have the badge as is if they don't feel like playing with it, but the option is there.
It's kind of like the cake mix thing, where like you were extra fulfilled by having to like put a little bit of elbow grease into it, but also and learn something as well. But of course, as you say,
we had last year we had a couple of amazing folks who rush ordered from Thursday night to Friday morning from DigiKey a bunch of the parts that we were missing.
Nice.
It's true.
And assembled little kits, and it was really, really heartwarming, to see the community come together, because we had almost enough. This year we should have more. This year I made sure we have 300 badges for 300 lucky people.
If we go over 300, we'll just be so happy that you're there.
Exactly. We do love you.
You just probably won't get a badge.
Yeah.
And
that's why you got to actually get your ticket, because
registering helps.
last year, some people, I think even some speakers, if you're watching, get your tickets. People wait, I'll just come last minute. We actually sold out last year, and we'd love to sell out. It's really good, but sometimes it means that some people don't get to come. So please buy your ticket, and it's not just us harassing you. It's because we actually want to see you there.
It's true.
Yeah.
And sellouts happen. And when we sell out, it also means that sometimes we will add on some extra tickets, but it does mean that you miss out on the goodie bag and the badge and all the fun things that come with it. So registration is a great way to guarantee that you get all the fun things.
Oh yeah. And you can also support other people joining.
Oh yeah.
By getting a slightly more expensive ticket. Such a cool program. There's so many things that are part of what you have worked into this event that make it so welcoming. And that's how you get the amazing people that you get to show up here, and just a ton of really, really good people doing really cool stuff. Love it. So everyone, I'll put the Eventbrite link in the description below. You can also just go to the description right now and find 2025.oshwa.org. And
one
the
other
link
thing
is
I want to add about the tickets. So we do also have virtual tickets. So be honest, the summit is always free for everyone. It's always going to be streamed on YouTube. But if you get a virtual supporter ticket, it really, really helps us a lot. We will also send you a virtual goodie bag, which has some things from our sponsors. But it really, really, really helps support us. And we know that not everyone can come to Edinburgh or go wherever we are going every single year. And it just means a lot to us. We're a very small nonprofit. It goes a long way. It goes a long way to get a virtual supporter ticket, even if you can't.
And then there is the virtual goodie bag that will go out with that. The virtual goodie bag is provided by our sponsors, and it can include a variety of things. Sometimes there's discount codes, sometimes there's zines, sometimes there's just like fun interactive
Cool
elements.
stuff.
It's just cool little items that we don't need to ship to you,
Yeah.
and that you get to still have access to some fun parts of the summit. And then we always encourage folks to join us in the Discord. We do all our Q&A sessions in the Discord so that it is more accessible to people who can't physically be there or just like need some time to assess their thoughts and come back later. You can always come back into those chats and be like, hey, actually, I had another question about this thing. And usually you will get a response from the speaker. So that's a really nice way to be able to still be involved, even if you can't get all the way to Edinburgh this year. But we also would love to see you there.
Yeah, and the Oshawa Discord tends to be pretty active anyway. I don't have the bandwidth to keep up with all the Discords, but anytime I peek my head in there, there's some really cool stuff going on.
Yeah, folks really do like to... We get a good amount of use of people looking for support or feedback or advice, and our community is so wonderful that folks tend to answer.
And also, just like on a logistical note, if you like are thinking of coming to the summit and you're like, oh, like the ticket is one thing, and then there's like logistics, there's getting places and like a hotel, blah blah blah. There's like a room. Do we call them rooms? I don't know. There's a place on the Discord, a channel, where people are coordinating and just like trying to like figure out accommodations and stuff, and just trying to keep the cost down. We try our best to you know, like have like local people who like maybe are able to host someone. But yeah, if you are a summit attendee and you're looking to just like keep those costs down, drop by the Discord.
Awesome. Now, speaking of getting there, there is, I meant to check to make sure this is okay to talk about, but it sounds like it's probably okay. There is a contingent of people who are planning on taking a train up from London to Edinburgh. So if you want to fly into London, that's another option too. You know, not on the cost-effective side, but on the like community side, there's tons of other stuff going on around the summit. So you've got you've also got events in multiple locations that are listed on the schedule. So people kind of get to explore a little bit, which I really loved as part of OHS last year. There was even a trip to an e-waste recycling place that I thought was really cool. And like I can't wait to see what comes up this year. But yeah, so lots of other stuff going on around it.
Yeah, we actually, so for the first time, we tried to do this last year and it did not work, but this year I think it's going to happen. We have like a performance track. So on Saturday night, we've rented a bar called the We Red Bar, and we're having performances, and they're going to be weird. There may or may not be some drag. There may be some weird sound art. All kinds of stuff. So it's a bit of an open mic, so probably if anyone has something that they want to drop by, that's okay. But yeah, so it's the first time ever. Last time we tried to do it, we tried to like ask people who had submitted if they would want to do a performance, but it just wasn't working out. But this year, it's happening. It's happening for us.
Cool. So in terms of like,
oh no, go ahead.
Me too. Now I'm also very excited now. Not that I wasn't already. I mean, obviously, I'm just so bored right now. But anyway, so sponsorship you mentioned really quickly, and also like with these little events, actually. So if someone wants to bring something, or if they want to sponsor, what level of new participation is still possible?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're always accepting sponsorships.
Solid.
We
would all get a fun meme.
Yes. Oh, Sid is so good at making memes about sponsors.
I make a fun meme for every sponsor. They're ridiculous and fun, I hope.
Where do I subscribe to the meme feed?
Let's see. The meme feed is for sure on Blue Sky.
Cool.
As well as Twitter and Mastodon. And then, yeah, you get to see very fun little memes that you get for sponsoring, as well as all the other sponsorship perks that exist that are maybe more tempting, but I really hope the meme is so tempting for people.
The meme's pretty good. Well, you also can put items in the swag bag, which go out to everyone. You know, you get posting on our social media. You can have your your company listed on all of our like intro slides and a bunch of different things. So yeah, there's still lots of sponsorship opportunities. And then everyone we do have our curated tables, but we do have 2 spots where people can kind of spontaneously be involved. One of them is that we have a section of lightning talks on the second day. So people can just say whatever they want.
Well,
Well,
please don't say weird things.
Yeah.
But
people
can sign up for 5 minutes to be able to share about their project or something they're working on, or even just open up some ideas and look for collaborators in that way.
Yeah, and then we also have open tables. So the venue that we're at the Nucleus building on the University of Edinburgh campus. So it's an engineering building. It's like open and fully accessible also, which is really, really awesome and super important to us. So there are tables across multiple floors, and they're all just open for, we have a bunch of like tables that will be like scheduled, but there are also open tables and outlets, and you're welcome to just bring your stuff. And we always encourage people to bring their stuff to the summit, just because, we couldn't accept literally all 170 of our favorite best friends who applied. We still would love to see all of your work. So
very cool.
It's actually such a fun way to like see what people are up to. It's sort of like the most intense but unusual science fair you've ever been to in your life.
Yes.
You won't see a volcano, but you'll see some really cool stuff.
I mean,
what
if
if
someone brought up
I guess you could. If someone
There's
wanted
still
to
time.
I guess in a very real way, the classic science fair volcano is extremely open source.
It's true.
People have been sharing that recipe for years.
Yeah, and there's definitely ways to sort of like electronicify that. Although, as we've talked about before,
You can always put some LEDs in a project.
Yeah. With previous streams, though, we talked about how, like, for example, the Spark Fun shovel, which was swag one year, and I love that. The open source hardware doesn't have to be electronic, so it could just be a volcano.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like something, I mean, it's part of what we're getting at a little bit this year with the eTextiles badge. Of course, it is still electronic, but for the past few years, we've really had people talking about open source in a bunch of different ways. Thinking about like algae is like a great example. Like we want people to be sharing the things that they're doing and telling us what they're excited about and sharing how they did it and iterating on it. And just, like open source software, of course, like paves the way for that. And we've been thinking of open source hardware in this like very particular electronics way, but like any physical matter that you are working with is part of the open hardware universe, expanded universe, as it were. And like, we're happy to see it, and we love to see it. And, I think have pretty successfully integrated a lot of like craft and textile work this year and last year into the summit. So we're always looking for new ways of doing open source work.
Yeah.
Extra points if you bring like a previous year's OHS tote bag or shirt or hat or bandana and like e-textilify that.
Yeah, if you found a fun way
you can
to
award
improve
points.
it. If you found a really neat way to iterate on a previous thing, we would love to see that.
We love it. Yes.
If you added a bunch of LEDs to your tote bag from before, I want to know. I want to know real bad.
I still have actually, speaking of sick mugs, or no, it's sweet mugs. I still have a bright yellow sweet mug from a few years ago that has had the handle broken off, and I feel like, we've got ceramic PCBs. Why not mug based?
It can work. The technology is there.
I did make a little
PCB mug.
In a mug, actually.
We can rebuild her.
we have the technology. So we've got the Open Source Hardware Association YouTube channel, which I assume is where the talks are going to live eventually.
Yes, they will all. So during there will be the live stream happening directly on the channel throughout, and then post the event, we will have all of the talks chopped up into their separate talks and put into a playlist as is seen in some of our previous years. So it'll all be there. It'll all live there. And until I guess YouTube explodes or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Until YouTube explodes.
Until YouTube explodes, you can still enjoy all of the talks from previous years. You can enjoy the talks from this year when they go up. And our wonderful tech director / certification database custodian, Michael Weinberg, he gets that stuff done so quickly. I think last year he had the videos chopped up and uploaded within 2 days. So
wow.
Weirdly fast.
Don't have to miss
That is a feat. As someone who does video stuff, like that is absolutely huge.
If there's one thing that man can do, it's chop up a video. And then a bunch of other incredible things.
Yeah, you also did a 24-hour live stream last year, which is epic.
Yes, we did do the 24-hour
worth a subscribe here
membership live stream, which unfortunately we are fools and we're not aware of some of the YouTube restrictions. So we did lose a lot of that video, and that is a learning curve. We now know for the next time we decide to not sleep that you have to do 2 live streams.
And we also learned that probably it doesn't have to be me and Sid for the entire 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot.
That is a lot. I do remember seeing, we've got Chipper Doodles on here. Definitely was salvaged from there. And I remember looking at this one. It features a puppet or a Muppet type critter, which is just wonderful. So, also a previous Hackster stream is coming up from last October when I didn't actually end up certifying those yet, but I'm still getting there. Hackster does have our own playlist of stuff that we've done together, including a couple interviews I shot with fellows at a previous iteration of Open Hardware Summit. Really cool people doing really cool stuff, and people bringing their own projects, as well as this incredible, I think this is Kirigami demo with
Tai Shu Peng's flexible circuits work.
So cool.
If you wanted to take a look through some older talks, that's definitely one to check out.
Yeah. And then previous swag bags, I will probably do another one of those because it's fun. Just
we all love swag.
Yeah, and going through after the fact is a chance to just dig through all the different things that I raccoonified, got my little grubby hands on during the event, which is always really fun. We got another a comment from I don't know anything about open source seeds, but that sounds interesting.
Seeds.
Axwax says, I wonder what happened to open source seeds. There hasn't been too much activity on their website last year. Very curious about that too.
I mean, I'll take a gander at that and see what we can.
Yeah, we will try and solve this mystery for you. Maybe not right now because we
do love seeds.
Ooh, one thing I wanted to circle back on because I forgot to thank the people who designed this and who made this, and I really. Honestly, they were so amazing with my impossible demands. We had this dream that we would have it PCBA done, and then it turns out that it was not possible because of money. But Dearborn and Juno, I'm not sure how to pronounce their names because we communicate over the internet. But Dearborn and probably Juno, I imagine that they speak English. But they were so amazing, and I'm gonna maybe Alex, I can give you the link because they just did this with the kindness of their hearts. I just love it. I just realized I forgot to.
If y'all need someone to make a PCB for you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. They were. I had a series of impossible demands. I was like, it needs to be extremely cheap. It needs to be beautiful, and it needs to have all pronoun options.
Or most
and it needs to be
options.
done. Many pronoun options.
Common pronoun options.
Yeah, or multiple pronoun options, right? You could solder next to.
True. Maybe next year we can have a programmable one, or someone can hack theirs to add.
Yeah, if you hack it and add some other pronouns, neopronouns, we would love to see that too.
Well, what they wanted to do, and this is we live in a world with money, but so it was not possible. But they designed another one that had 4 7-segment displays, and a little switch, and it was hardwired, and you could just like switch it to whatever pronoun you wanted, and it was really amazing. It's just, yeah, we live in a world with money, but like
hence why we are totally willing to take your money if you feel like sponsoring us.
exactly. If you would like to be the person to sponsor cool pronoun SAOs. But thanks to Dearborn and Juno for just being totally awesome people.
Super cool. So yeah, we've got the sponsorship page where we go sponsor so that we can have cool things. There's already tons of cool stuff going on, but there could always be more. And honestly, I fully support people chucking money at you to do whatever you want because there's so much cool stuff. Ooh, we got an offer from Timon. Hit me up next year. I can put you sponsorships for badges. Oh yeah.
You will see us in
yes.
Awesome. So I want to show real quick, you've got a hub on Hackster.io.
Yes.
Where there's tons of articles and stuff, and people who have built stuff that is especially OHS certified, but things you brought to OHS maybe, or other things related. You can add your projects to this hub. You can also follow the hub, and you'll get you can see all the articles that come through. Hackster News, which is always new stuff. Including this monthly OHS certification roundup for people who actually get their business together and get their things submitted. It's not an intimidating
It's true,
process.
and we've got some really fun one. We actually just got the April one up. It's not on this page yet. I need to add it there, but the April one just went up, and there's some really, really cool projects in that. And
That's very exciting.
We pair that with our monthly live stream where we talk to 3 creators and find out about the journey behind their creations. So that always happens on the 3rd Thursday of every month. So another fun live stream you can join in on if you feel like it.
Yeah. I'm loving the cat cameo on here.
Yeah, he does not understand boundaries or space. Usually I put him in a box that he can get out of, but usually he'll be in the box for a full hour.
Love a box. Yeah. Honestly, I might do that after this.
Put him in a box.
Okay.
Yeah, and one other thing I really do want to reinforce heavily, if you are coming to the summit, do not forget to sign up for workshops.
Yes.
Are ticketed separately because there are costs that come with workshops that we want our workshop runners to be able to recoup, getting all those materials and supplies to be able to entertain you all and help you make cool things. Costs money. So make sure you're getting your workshop tickets as well. There's some really, really rad workshops this year. Super stoked to see how folks will interact with them and work through them, like designing effective touches. That's all about soft robotics and how you might create touch patterns within soft robotics. So this is a really cool workshop to participate in. And they're also doing a slight discount on that one right now.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
Not $10 off.
Nice.
So you're getting quite a deal. Ali Katz's ceramics workshop.
Oh, yeah.
Open Cyclone. This one is going to be figuring out how to incorporate ceramics into your tech. Open Cyclone is this is actually a open source vacuum.
Oh, cool.
It's super cool. It is also adorable.
Yeah.
Like
and we just love nice open source domestic technology,
Yeah.
It's
like something we need to be doing. It's not just about PPCB. Oh, someone does not go on Instagram.
I'm sorry. I don't want that to pop up, but I can't get it to go away.
But look at how cute this little vacuum is.
The Hackster one, Instagram, which is why there's so many notifications. Look at it go!
But isn't that just a gorgeous design? Great colors. Love to see it.
I was just showing some people
Build a Frog. People love Keenan Johnson's work around the open source environmental center, the frog.
Ribbit.
He is cute. We love the ribbit.
Love it.
And
we've had Keenan on the.
Yeah, he's always around. Oh my god, boy. And there's we've got Anu Reddy and Helen Lee doing some interfacing with soft things, doing some e-textile work, so you can increase your skills. You might have practiced a little bit on your badge, maybe a little further into it.
Very cool.
A really cool one we have this year is Shiwiwei's dye-sensitized solar cell.
Cool.
Extremely cool.
You can
Extremely
make
cool.
this. You get to make this and go home with it, and you get to own that thing forever. You will get to have that.
This sounds really cool. We got Ribbit Networks coming up here, and at a previous Open Hardware Summit, speaking of like the DIY-ified house, or I forget what you called it a second ago.
Domestic tech.
Yeah. There we go, domestic tech. Which is somehow nicer sounding than smart home. It feels more personal. But there was also a talk from Amitabh about refrigeration. Yeah, I was just sending that around to some people. So there's always like some really interesting, if you're into smart homes, if you're into e-textiles, if you're into med tech and biohacking, there's everything. Everything is here.
We really do our best to cover all of the areas.
Yeah, I just want to plug a few of our panels.
Ooh, please do.
Right before,
we got
because
a couple minutes left, and I want to be mindful of that. But it's your time.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll be really quick.
Take your time, please.
I mean, I just wanted to plug the panels because like it's amazing that people are going to go to workshops, but there are not enough. Like there are limited workshop spaces, and there's going to be like 300 of you folks. So, there's a bunch of panels happening as well, and we like really wanted to have panels this year, so that way we could like give people opportunities to like have active discussion. So, each panelist will give like a brief presentation, but then we have each of them also comes prepared with questions to talk with their other panelists and questions from the audience. So it's going to be great. And there's two panels that I'm really excited about that like intersect with two of my interests that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. The first is, it's not specifically rockets. I was really wanting to have a panel on open source outer space. Rockets.
Yeah.
I don't specifically know that much about rockets, but my PhD research is about outer space. So, I'm just like glad to see it. Very curious to see like all the implications for open source and space policy. I'm really, really curious about that. And the other one is about disability. So I am really excited to hear what these folks have to say, just like about like creating, and this differs. We also have a panel about open source medical technologies, which is more from a clinical aspect. But each of these folks have kind of like a lived or personal experience with disability and talking about how that intersects with open source hardware. So I've been really excited about having a panel like this for years, and it finally came together. So I'm super, super excited. And then also on the main stage, Sid Choi is talking about making an open source brailer, which is another disability related topic. So I'm so excited about all of that, and you can check those things out. Like if you don't manage to snag a workshop spot, there's still amazing stuff.
So cool. Oh, I hope that you got to say everything you wanted. I didn't cut you off.
I really tried to cram it in there.
Awesome. You did a much better job than I usually do with being concise. Let me run us real quick back through some of the tabs that we pulled up. Everyone, I'm going to be adding more links to the description of this video after the fact, but you can already go to 2025.oshawa.org or find, just go click on the links down below and you'll be able to find where to register. Speaking of registration, let's have a look. We've got tons of different types of tickets. You can get a supporter ticket to bring more people, more awesome people to this event, which is just amazing. You can be a virtual supporter. Whether or not you do that, you can follow along on the live stream. But also if you're a virtual supporter, you get a cool virtual swag bag. That's so cool. And then all this other cool swag add-ons. You can go find the schedule on the website, of course. Go check out Inner Loop Press, who did the beautiful design. There's also the Oshawa Hub on Hackster.io. Be sure to share your projects there. Simple add-ons, if you want to figure out how to make your own add-ons for the badge, then go check this out. You can also find a ton of different tutorials. This is just like the one in particular I pulled up. We got Oshawa on GitHub with stuff from previous badges. We've got Oshawa on YouTube with monthly live streams with the newest certified projects, as well as all these talks and stuff from previous years. Very cool. And then also, of course, the Hackster playlist for this stuff. You can find Oshwa on Blue Sky, Mastodon, Twitter, and anywhere else, I assume. Bunches of places. Just look for them, and you'll probably find them. And oh yeah, and then there's this random thing that I may not put in the description, but you can go check out Open Source Seeds if you like. I'm so stoked.
Amazing.
I can't wait. We're gonna be in Edinburgh. And sorry, I need to stop doing that. But I'm definitely gonna bring something fun, maybe something with these ridiculous LEDs I finally got working.
Yes.
And yeah, everyone, bring yourself. Thank you so much, you two, for joining us once again. It's always a joy, and it's just doing so much cool stuff across so many different genres. And thank you, of course, to our audience as well. Would you like to say anything real quick as we wrap up?
Just we're so excited to see everybody in Edinburgh and online, and that's it. Yeah.
It's
Stoke
been
is high.
a joy to do these last. I don't know how many years we've been doing this now.
Several.
I think Lee and I have been working on these for 3 or 4 years now, and we're still just having so much fun. Every year gets to be even better, and that seems impossible, but it just keeps happening. So very excited to make another really rad event with y'all.
Yeah, we got a couple comments of people being devastated and demolished that they cannot join.
No.
The FOMO is real. Be sure to join in the Discord if you're not already. Anyone who's watching this, if you're not in the Discord, get in there. There's tons of cool people, and like you'll be able to follow along and join in the conversations, do the hallway track at least, and also check out the live streams. We'll put all those links in the description. Thank you all again, and have an awesome rest of your Friday.